Just a quick recap in case you haven't been following along. First, I did a video why a very particular rifle would not work for a very particular person. I dedicated it to them. They thought that was pretty cool. Second, I did a video explaining my thoughts on weapon lights. And now, we're at this video because I don't know if the first and second one just made so much sense that the arguments against it are just not even really relevant or related. But we're going to go over some of those comments. Number one, you have no real-world experience. Let me get a show of hands real quick. Just raise your hand right now. How many of you have experience in the apocalypse? End of the world, lights don't turn on, that sort of thing. Oh, there's only like 5 of you that raised your hands, and you're over the age of 91, and hate to say it, but probably quickly on your way to the grave. And the only reason you have experience is because you grew up in the Great Depression, or you've raised your hand because you grew up and you were raised in a third world country and you know how to handle these types of situations. Almost all of us watching this video has no real world experience. So to attack me on that, to say you have no real world experience, well, neither do you. You don't have a clue what you're talking about. Neither do I. But I can grasp onto a couple of concepts. Does that mean it's going to make me the super ultra mega apocalypse survivor? No, it doesn't at all. And that's not even accounting for Murphy's Law. It could be like day one of the apocalypse, I could trip on some race car or something laying on the floor that my kid left there, break my leg, and without the ability to go to a hospital, it could cripple me and ultimately kill me. You could be a Tier 1 tactical operator, Navy SEAL Commandant, Delta Force. Day one of the apocalypse, you get food poisoning and die from dysentery. Or you fall down the stairs. Or slip on some ice. Who knows? None of us have real world experience in the apocalypse. And if you do, you are the minority. Second comment, you're just making excuses for your lack of gear. Seriously, I could buy whatever the hell I wanted. Nods, it doesn't really matter. But that's not what this channel is about. My channel is targeted for building firearms. That's the core drive of this channel. That's where I want to take it. I want to just make firearm build videos. I mean, there's only so much I can put on YouTube. And then testing them. That's what I'm about. If I really wanted that stuff, I would simply buy it. Now, will gear save you? No. And that actually jumps into the next part. Gear is just a band-aid. All your crazy tactical operator gear does is buy you time. It's just a band-aid to hold over till either the apocalypse ends, say for example, all these stimulus checks crash the dollar, so they have to come up with a new form of currency, get that new form of currency rolling, your food supplies, your ammunition, all that crap that'll just buy you a little bit of time to smooth the transition into the new dollar. Or if it's long-term, longer than a month, even probably longer than 2 weeks would be traumatic for most people. Alright, so longer than 2 weeks is to buy you a band-aid to learn how to adapt into the new environment. You got surviving and you got living. Yes, you could most certainly sit in your basement, sitting on your couch made out of ammo cans, eating MREs, until you run out of food. Let's say you have years' supply. Indefinitely, you're surviving, you're not living. Nobody wants to just survive. They're going to want to live, they're going to want to socialize with people, they're going to want to move forward with their life. You don't want to just target surviving. You want to target ultimately building a new life in the new world. Your survival will ultimately land on your community's ability to adapt and scale up and make things on a surplus scale to either trade with other communities or so you don't have to raise chickens, then you got to go cut firewood, then you got to go gather water, and by the time you're done with everything, you still have a handful of chores left over, and it's dark time, and you're still trying to prepare for winter time. A surviving community, one that can actually live, there'll be enough people just doing single isolated tasks. That guy, he's just got a massive chicken farm. That's all he does is he breeds chickens. This guy's just got cows. This guy, he just splits wood. Everybody works together. This way you don't have to spend your entire life just doing chores. You can take some of that and get free time, and you use that free time to help your community go back into a normal way of living, whether that's building a hydroelectric dam, something to that effect. to make everything easier and eventually get back to the point where you're not just surviving by the skin of your teeth, you're all living and you're starting to thrive. Again, the gear is just a band-aid. That's all it is, just to help you get over that hump. But you have to be able to settle back in, and your whole community has to settle back in. Even if you can settle back in, if all your neighbors are a drain on resources, you're ultimately going to die, whether you like it or not, regardless how prepared you are. Yeah, you could try the whole homesteading thing. It's doable, but you're going back to just surviving. You're not going to be living. You're going to be completely cut off from everyone. You're probably going to take 5.56 mouthwash or 12 gauge mouthwash. I think they call it buckshot mouthwash. Because of the mental drain. We are humans. We need to conversate with people. It's just how we are. We are social beings. Last one, learn your trade. It doesn't really matter what the hell your job is. Whether that's flipping burgers at McDonald's, working at an archery shop, learning the differences in bows, how to use bows, how to make bows, how to set up bows, mechanics, plumbers. I mean, you would think they'd be useless, but no, they already have a van full of very basic hand tools that would be insanely useful in the end of the world. Another one I had pop up in a video was the people at the hotel. What the hell are they called? Cannot think of their name right now. It was just right there on the tip of my tongue. I'm just going to make up a term. Customer service executive. The gift of gab is actually very powerful. Just because that's all you do is make people happy, or all you do is give customer service. If you master that skill, you can most definitely use your gift of gab to organize towns, get people moving in the right direction. There ultimately will need to be a leader. Somebody will need to take the reins. Somebody will have to be like, hey, you know, that, what's a good example? Making toy cars is really awesome, but why don't you retool, just change a couple of things. You have the raw materials, start making candles or something like that. Maybe you shouldn't take your cow and give steaks to all your friends and then let the rest of the meat die. Why don't you give the meat you're not going to use, like the innards and stuff, to Ryan, who's got a dog farm? They can eat the guts and stuff like that. Like moving supplies around, repurposing everything, getting things moving back so the trains are running on time, so all of us can live and not just survive in a miserable existence. Don't sell yourself short. Regardless what you are, what you do, it has absolutely nothing to do with what will happen in the end. The true survivors will be the people that can adapt quickly to their situation, start learning how to survive, and ultimately live. You just don't know. I mean, you don't know how the cards are going to fall. I cannot tell you how the cards are going to fall. They could fall in any direction. Any one of us could just die a miserable death. Any one of us could totally thrive just because things happen the right way. I just happen to have the right skills. I am just so happen to meet the right people to start organizing things. But anyway, again, now we're going to exit Fantasyland. We're done with this little section of apocalypse videos. I'll probably put them in some sort of playlist, which you'll be able to click on somewhere in here. And we're going to go back to the videos I like doing. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you'd like to help support the channel, got my Patreon right there. I also have affiliate links in the description down below. Just by clicking on those links, even not buying what the link is for, just doing the Amazon shopping you were going to do anyway, I get a little kickback for it because you came there off my channel. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.